Keystone Film Review, we saw Gladiator, as the title says. There's two eyes.
French say.
Yes, it's directed by Ridley Scott. Written by David Scarpa, Peter Craig, and based on the characters by David Franzoni, starring Paul Mescal, Connie Nielsen, Denzel Washington, Pedro Pascal, Joseph Quinn, Fred Heckinger, and many others. Derek Jacobi's in there. This, of course, is a sequel to the Gladiator movie from 2000, 2001, early 2000s. Won a bunch of awards. I believe it won Best Picture.
2000.
2000, yeah. And, yeah, it's a sequel that literally not a single person asked for. Not a one of them. And
there's somebody out there, Ridley Scott, probably.
I mean, yeah. Yeah. But, yeah, I couldn't even I can't say that I was excited for this. I love the first one.
Yep.
But, like, when I heard that they were doing this, I was like, you don't need it.
No. It was super unnecessary.
Yeah.
And I hadn't seen the original in, I think, 10 years when I started this film journey. So I kind of was blanking for a while on whether or not it actually needed a sequel. And then I had to Wikipedia it, and it didn't.
It doesn't. In a way, so a lot of the things that I heard coming into this is that it was bad. And I don't know if I would go that far. It's the thing about the first one is, like, it was catching lightning in a bottle. It was a Roman movie, or, you know, a movie about blood and sand, as they call it. Like the first really big one, probably since the 50s or 60s. Spartacus, maybe. I'm not, you know, completely well versed in blood and sand movies. But it just, you know, it's just something that wasn't expected. And then it did really well, and it was a really good movie. And then this, it wasn't expected, wasn't wanted, but it's okay.
Yeah.
It's fine. I feel like if the first one didn't exist, this movie would be more widely enjoyed, or if it just completely did not try to bank off the success of the first one, made its own thing. You don't really need the Maximus story in there. And, yeah, I think it's just kind of a wasted sequel, wasted story. Could have been a lot better if it just had nothing to do with the first one.
Or if it actually had been planned, I guess, from the first one.
Yeah.
They have a storyline, and I don't remember honestly how far the trailers go into telling what the storyline is in this one. And I don't know if I want to spoil it, so I'm kind of scared to try to explain it. But they interweave the first and the second movie, but they explain the tie in this movie, and they don't show it at all in the first movie.
Yeah.
I don't know what goes too far without spoiling. But as Mike was saying, I didn't really personally care myself for this movie, honestly. It wasn't on my most anticipated, and I would have been okay with passing this. But I heard it was actually doing pretty okay, so I was like, yeah, fuck it, I might see this movie.
Yeah, I mean, it's, the ratings contradict what I said about I only heard bad things. What I mean is I only read bad things. Yeah. Of course, the ratings are kind of like middle of the road, which is fair. It's fair.
Yeah.
I think it was just distracting trying to connect it to the first one. I thought it was a compelling story without connecting it to the first one. Not that it's a unique story. It's a story that's been done before. Anastasia's kind of that story. And but it did things that were interesting. Like, you know, it showed the staged naval battles that they used to have, although pushed it a little far by adding sharks. I'm not an archaeologist, but I'm pretty sure there's no...
Why are you adding sharks?
Evidence of sharks being in there, because I don't think they would have taken them from the ocean and kept them alive back then. Could be wrong. Yeah. Could be very wrong. But it's just, you know, when things were like, oh, that's really cool, and something that happened back in the day that no one really talks about. Oh, let's add this completely unnecessary
to make it super not believable.
Not to mention, sharks don't really like eating people. Whenever they do, it's by accident. So these sharks just like going for these people.
Well, to be
not
fair,
really believable.
They were bleeding out in the
Only
water.
one of them was bleeding.
Yeah.
The other one was not.
Yeah.
And he was wearing so much armor, he would have sunk anyway. So he should have just sunk and drowned.
In that 12 feet of water.
Yes. But it's an interesting film. I think Paul Mescal, or Mescal, however the hell you pronounce his name. I know it's not the alcohol. What's the alcohol? Mescal?
I have no idea.
Oh. Whichever one's not the alcohol, I don't drink. So.
Turned to me like I'm the alcoholic.
Well, you drink.
You're right, but still.
He was great. I feel like Pedro Pascal is very underutilized.
They use a lot of characters in this very lowly. Like,
Rory, the guy who, I forget his last name. He played the Hound in Game of Thrones.
Yep.
Rory McCann.
Good old.
And he played the NARP guy in Hot Fuzz. They underutilize him.
Peter Mensa. I was so fucking excited. I was literally
the guy from Stranger Things. He's underutilized too.
Joseph Quinn.
Joseph Quinn, and he's a big part. He's just underutilized.
Yeah. Like Peter Mensa, when he was on the screen, I literally did this twice. I'm like, yes.
Oh yeah, you did.
Because he's from. Speaking of Blood and Sand, he's from Spartacus, and I thought he would have been fucking phenomenal in this. Once I saw him, he's not on screen.
Underutilized. Yeah, underutilized. The only person that I think is utilized perfectly is Denzel Washington. A lot of people complain that he just did his normal accent, but so did Pedro Pascal. So who gives a shit? I believe Connie Nielsen did as well.
You're fighting without a shirt on. I will.
I do not accept that.
I do not accept that.
If I don't become emperor, I'm going to kill myself.
You owe me 10,000 denarii, and I will accept that.
I own your house.
Now give me your trust.
But yeah, it's just felt like a movie that they threw as many famous faces in as they could, but then didn't know what to do with them except for two. And yeah, I mean, the score is not by Hans Zimmer, which the first one is by Hans Zimmer. Although I heard from a friend that the guy who did the score for this one did additional music for the first one. But it still didn't feel much like the score for the first one, which is fine.
It's okay.
Just nitpicking at this point. But yeah, pretty much any time that there wasn't fighting going on, it was meh. The fights were really good, though.
Yeah, I really enjoyed all of the people who were underutilized.
Yeah.
And it's kind of a shame because if they had more time, it would have been pretty fucking dope, honestly.
Yep.
But I'm trying not to compare, but it's really hard not to. I'm fresh off of watching Spartacus, the TV show. There's a lot of tones in this movie and that show that literally go hand in hand, and it felt like they were just like, they even, what the fuck did they do? Oh, they even have like an "I'm Spartacus" moment.
Yes. I mean, that's from the show. Probably has that, but that's more from the movie.
I don't know the show. I never actually finished it completely.
But that's from the Stanley Kubrick movie.
Yeah. But yeah, they have. There's a lot of tones where it feels like, damn, I don't want to spoil too much. Something happens to the character's significant others. This happens. Then they overthrow possibly, and then a lot of tones go hand in hand with the two. And not saying that Spartacus isn't fucking original, the TV show at least, but I felt while watching this, I was like, damn, there's so many similarities that I could have just rewatched Spartacus again.
I mean, Blood and Sand movies are all kind of the same.
I'll probably get crucified for saying that, but it's okay.
Yeah.
My arms are strong. I can hold it. But yeah, I mean, this movie was enjoyable. I liked it more than I thought I would.
Same.
But at the same time, I probably could have been okay with skipping it still.
Yeah.
I honestly can't tell you if I've watched any Paul Mescal movies or not.
After Sun.
Did we watch that?
Yeah.
We did watch that. Holy shit. But he's such a completely different character in that compared to this. But that's how acting works, I guess. Hey.
Yeah.
But I thought he was okay in this. I thought he could have used some more dirt in his knees or something to get him more characterized. I felt like he was kind of tonal to one degree.
It felt like his arc felt very rushed. Which, I mean, like...
I feel like they tried to do the same thing with Russell Crowe's character in the first one, but, like, it felt super rushed.
I don't remember. I haven't seen the first one in a very long time.
This thing happens to that character. Oh, and now he's got this revenge plot.
But it just felt like they kind of But it felt like they tried to shoehorn this story into the first one. And it could have just been its own thing. I think I would have preferred it was its own thing. And so I would even be okay with them banking on the success of the first movie by calling it Gladiator 2. Maybe it takes place in the same world, just with characters that have nothing to do with the first one. I think that would have been better for that. There would have been none of that fan service, none of those awkward flashbacks where the young Lucius is not played by the same guy, the kid from Unbreakable. And also, he's a man in the TV show Manhunt. He plays Thomas Paine, I believe. His first name's Thomas. His last name's definitely Paine. But yes, he's great in that show.
He was in Glass, too.
Yeah, he was in Glass because he played the same character as he did in Unbreakable. And he's in other things, too, but that's what I know him from.
Yeah. I think that I lost my train of thought, and it's gone now. Fuck, what the fuck was it? Son of a bitch.
No, I had a really good point, too. Okay, I don't know. It's gone.
I had something pretty good that I was going to say, and it's gone.
Yeah.
I remember it now. Sorry.
I knew if I was saying
if I tried to stay away from a lot of the trailers. I know we get stuck watching them in the theater.
We try not to pay attention to
early,
them, though.
But I did glance into the IMDb, and I was curious. I'm like, who's gonna play who, and like what plays what. And then I saw Paul Mescal was playing Lucius, and then I was like, if they kept his fucking character's name, would they cheer?
They announced before the trailer came out that he was playing Lucius, though.
I think the twist would have been so much better paying off if they would have put in the credits that he was Hano, whatever it was, in the credits, and then twisted it.
Not announced that he was playing Lucius before.
I think that would have paid off way better, because I'm like, that's how that's.
That's just the world we live in, unfortunately. No studio is willing to let a true spoiler or a true twist be pushed through without it being talked about.
Yeah, it's
death.
a shame too, because it does shit like that gets leaked, and that's why Marvel leaks their own stuff.
The first thing that I saw about it was an article. I forget the kid's name. Fuck, what's his name? Where are you at? There you are. It was an article like talking about why Spencer Treat Clark wasn't playing Lucius, and it was Paul Mescal. Mescal, Mela Bing Bong.
Yeah, he'll forgive us.
Yeah, he's not even gonna know who we are. And so, it's just studios don't have the balls to keep things secret anymore. It's irritating.
I feel like with a movie like this, it would have been okay to keep that secret.
Yeah.
Because, it's not that high stake where Marvel fans will leak their shit.
Yeah. Show Connie Nielsen.
Yeah.
Show the other guy, the senator that's in the first one, too.
I think a cool thing about this movie, for sure, is that on the press tour, they are having so much fun. Denzel is definitely having the most fun.
He might retire soon.
I wouldn't doubt it.
I hope not, but I understand at the same time.
He had a lot of fun in this movie. It for sure seemed.
Oh, yeah.
And he's definitely having a time of his life on the tour.
I love it when you can tell Denzel's having fun. And, yeah, I mean, I don't know how much Pedro Pascal's in I feel like he always makes a treat out of all of his interviews.
Dude, yeah.
He's just doesn't take it seriously. Unlike certain movie interviews that are coming out around the same time. Actually, I don't know. I don't know enough about the Wicked press tour to know if they're taking it seriously, but I see a lot of people making fun of them.
Well, they kind of put it on themselves.
Yeah, but
yeah.
Ratings?
Better than expected.
Better than expected. Ratings. I'm between a 3 and a 3.5.
I am the same.
What?
Whoa!
Okay, let's say it at the same time. 3, 2, 1. 3. That's the coolest thing. No,
I
it's
swear to God, if we touch tips right now.
not. Yes, just it's fine.
Yeah, it's good. It's good enough
Yeah.
to be passable. It was okay. I wish the twist was there, but that's all right.
Yeah. There were some scenes in it that I really, really liked, but then they would try to shoehorn some first movie lore into there. But yes, that is what we thought of Gladiator 2. And if you saw Gladiator 2, I'm so sorry. Tell us what you thought down in the comments. Were you not entertained?
Oh.
Is this not what you were here for? Discuss down below in the comments, and we will...
If not, go pick up some dirt.
Go pick up some dirt. Touch grass.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll talk to you, or see you. You'll see us.
We'll do something to you.
In the next movie review thing.
Yeah.